But here's the thing. This industry is getting kind of at an interesting point where it's spreading out so much that there's games that require motion controls, and then there's games that and there's games that require, you know, intense gameplay, and then there's some games that are just heavily story-driven, which require either little movements, like little interaction, like RPGs, or are timed events, almost like a next-gen. What was that game that was for the arcade that was all? Yeah, it was like Simon Says, Dragon's Lair. There's a game that the PlayStation 3 released called Heavy Rain. It's pretty much a spiritual successor to Indigo Prophecy, which deals a lot on multiple story angles and in-depth character creation, where you basically get into the psyche of the whole character and deals with all little intricate things that you do that determine the outcome of what happens. And in a sense, this is probably the closest it's been to an interactive movie.
Okay. Question for everyone. I want someone to name a game that came out in the past 2 years that has been a complete, fulfilled, absolute love forever game that you would dub as a future classic. A game in the past 2 years.
Game in the past 2 years, it's a future classic? Okay, so 2008 and up.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Batman Arkham Asylum.
Very possible. It was a pretty good game, although from what I've been told, at the end it's like...
Well, it opens up the door for another one.
That's true.
If you go with potential... If you go with potential cult classics, I would say, once again, Heavy Rain.
I would agree with Matthew. Borderlands.
I also thought of another one that could be considered. Well, this one's kind of back too far.
Okay.
I was going to say No More Heroes.
No More Heroes was...
No More Heroes came out more than 2 years ago, didn't it?
Yeah,
that's what I was saying. I was kind of apologizing for that point.
But No More Heroes was... Actually, no, it was like 2007, maybe 2008. But No More Heroes was like Quentin Tarantino directs Grand Theft Auto. It's a very, very interesting concept. Storyline was completely out there. Take everything you thought about a game with a story that was so stereotypical, just throw that book out the window, there's No More Heroes. Oh, and add buckets and buckets of blood.
And it looks like you're jacking off while charging up your beam saber. But anyways, what were you going to say?
I said tasty, tasty blood.
Okay, before that.
Okay. Now, Borderlands. I would dub that. It's probably going to be a future classic. The multiplayer was good. If you could find someone that would share. But, I mean, like...
Yeah. Share.
I do share. You can go to hell.
Well, by sharing you mean talking me old crap that you never used.
Alright, knock it off.
Okay, anyways.
So...
The storyline, a bit confusing.
But you get jumble a little bit. But at the end, you don't really feel as fulfilled as you would with the ending.
With what?
The ending of Borderlands.
But what about International Ninja?
What about Fallout 3?
Fallout 3.
Oh my god. Actually, thank you. I almost forgot. I would dub that as a 100 complete... No, sorry. I can't. A 90% complete success.
Why?
Because they didn't carry too much of the Fallout.
In that game, Fallout 3 is a game that you can play for months.
Exactly, because how long did I play Fallout 3?
My dad's been playing it for about a year.
I've been playing
it for
even longer than a year.
Believe me, the predecessor to Fallout 3.
Exactly.
Not a predecessor, but it came out before.
Well, most people prefer playing Morrowind, from what I heard.
Morrowind or Oblivion?
Morrowind. Elder Scrolls 3, Morrowind.
I don't want to sit there and swing 15 times at someone and only hit them once.
Well...
Logic does not determine that I'm going to swing at someone 15 times and only hit them once.
Oh, my dice roller broken.
Yeah, it's just bad dice rolling, I guess.
Okay, here's the deal. With Fallout, the reason I said Fallout 3 is a 90% success is because they didn't bring a lot of the life and story from a lot of the backstory that needed to be brought with it. Like, okay, so we had a war with China. Okay, but it still doesn't tell us how we got nuked. Okay, so you're kind of in the dark. Okay, like they could have brought a lot more factions from the western coast where a lot of the originals had happened over towards this direction.
Well, you're putting more emphasis on
what they could have done. But the thing is, it's a solid game.
Well,
I would give it a 5 out of 5.
Well, here's the thing with Fallout 3. Fallout 3 is a game that centers on a character that you make. With games that center on characters that you make, there has to be a little more vagueness.
Like your character doesn't know anything.
Well, no. The thing is,
if you got a game that has a character that
learning,
but if you got a character that is, it's the game developers made it. This is the hero. I think there's more chance for it to actually have a main storyline, more so than something that you create yourself. Because, like I said, there's so much gray area that you have to go with. Not to mention, with games like that, it's relatively a sandbox title. Because you can do just about whatever you want with that game.
Shifting gears here to the games we've listed so far are good quality games, but either good quality games with a decent amount of time or good quality games with a bad amount of timing. Let's go with bad games with bad timing.
Bad games with bad timing.
Like, what are you asking of this?
Like bad games that just either were too long or too short.
Hey, how's about a really bad game? Vampire Rain.
What?
None of you played it, probably.
No.
I haven't heard of it.
Vampire Rain. Basically, the vampires are so overly powered. Like, you can't kill them with bullets. Okay, what do? You're supposed to run from them. Okay, they run 9 times faster than you. Okay, the controls are terrible.
What system is this for?
360.
360.
Well, it's supposed to, you can pick it up from GameStop for like a couple dollars.
Is it as cheap as the Burger King games?
It's just about.
Wow. Okay, again.
There's a game those are the games that are bad. Sneak King.
But what do you expect from Burger King?
I know. Actually, I'll admit, I was impressed. I was intrigued by Sneak King because I think that Burger King is
awesome.
Is amazing, and the fact that you basically play a sneaking game like Metal Gear, but dumbed down really badly and making it that you're sneaking up to people, giving them boppers is just.
Well, you're not snapping their necks.
Touche.
Okay,
a game that went on too long and wasn't as good. The Sky of 3. That was going to be one of the sole purposes I bought a PS3 was for the Sky of 3. I played it and just at one point it's like I gotta level grind so much to get past this one area, only to level grind some more.
Well, the Disgaea games are like that, and the same thing goes with most strategy games. You have to raise up each individual character's level by, fighting all these people, and then when you have your team ready, you find out that, oh, son of a bitch, I have to do it again because, this level, it was, just right, and then now I'm back to square one.
Okay. But at the same time, Sky 3 it was.
I thought that the same thing could be said with the other Disgaea games.
Sky 2.
I think that most strategy RPGs are, I think, a little bit more of an acquired taste than regular.
Yeah. I don't really feel the new turn-based. Anyway, let's switch gears.